There we go.
Are we live?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Hello, everyone.
Damn. Okay.
Everything broke. Everything's on fire.
Yes. No, I just needed to move something. Okay. I'm ready.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us tonight.
I need to send the We Are Live. Can you send the We Are Live thing?
I will. I will remind folks on Discord that we are live.
Forgot to send that.
Hold on. Things we should have done 2 minutes ago. Thank you for your patience, everyone. We really appreciate it. Shay will tell you all about the plans for today's stream while I do some technical stuff that you really shouldn't care much about.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Can you hear us? Is everything all right? Good. Amazing. Hello. Okay. This is October's dev stream of Book of Spirits. I am Shay. I'm the community manager of the Beyond the Screen studio, and this is Aviad. He's the lead designer of Book of Spirits and the Beyond the Screen studio. Okay. Today we'll talk more about the playtest and how that's going, experiences and such. It will also be open for questions, etc. And we'll talk about one of the new subclasses, Circle of Harmony, which is a druid subclass. And we'll talk what it's about and everything. And we'll talk more about art and art directing, which is very interesting. It's something that Aviad has done a lot recently and the past few weeks.
Few weeks especially, yeah. I'm
yeah.
seeing art prompts flying through the sky when I look up at night.
So much art.
So much art.
One of the new things we've got is that Aviad is working on with Irene Artea. Artea is the field notes, and that is something that
we'll show you some glimpses of them soon, so stay tuned. And also, I think we're also saying a few words about the 2024 rules, right? Some of you asked us about compatibility, so we'll hash that out. I just received my copy, so I'm very excited. Haven't read the whole thing yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah.
But I'll give you my opinions, ideas, and how does that tie into the Book of Spirits, if at all.
Yeah. That's what we'll talk about today mostly. If anybody's got any questions, please feel free to write them in the chat. And also, the playtest is still open for you to join. There's a link down in the description. Check that out.
In the playtest
form you've got to fill, and then you'll get it sent to your email. All right, ready to start?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay. So, how's the playtest going?
Ooh. So it's really
yeah.
It's really just begun not too long ago. So I feel like a lot of people are still arranging groups. Although I did hear a few people who have already started playing and are very excited about sharing their experiences mostly with the conduit, I think. So far, though, not a lot of people have mentioned much, except that they are playing. We have over 450 people who have signed up for the playtest, so we expect quite a lot of responses eventually. And I'm starting my own group in a few weeks to try out some stuff. We're gonna try Resonance and the Conduit and the Empath. We're gonna try all of them. And I'm really looking forward to it. And I think, Shay, I think you're playing an Empath.
Yeah, I'm playing an Empath. I got to test one of the features last session. it was the second session, so it was still kind of hectic and stuff. But I got to use the. Let me look it up. The name. I don't wanna. Because it was my first
Empathic
time
link?
using it. No. I was the aura. The aura one.
Oh.
Aura.
You're-
Let me open the playtest.
There are 3 auras. Each of the subclasses has a different
the
aura.
percipient one. But
So-
no,
so-
it's one of the class features. It's one of the class features. Let me see.
Okay. So it's like aura reading, I think.
Yeah, probably.
That's one. Yeah.
It's the one where you have advantage on insight. So what we did with that is kind of like there was someone, one of the player characters, he cast a spell, and the place was absolutely swamped with people. But I was like, hey, can I try this feature? Because I am an empath and I do like sort of feel emotions and things. I wanna vibe check this. Do I know who did that based on the emotion of like the 30 radius that I have with that? And she was like, yeah, sure, all right. So it worked, and I knew exactly who did it just by the emotion.
Yes.
It was really cool. It was really fun to
Because the most
play that.
stressed out, was the most scared, or something like that.
The most happy, because the spell was prestidigitation to make googly eyes on one of the other player characters, and it was in the
Okay.
dining hall. So I was like, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Then. All
I'm
right
gonna use
then.
this feature now. So it's really fun.
Yep. I can see how someone would be very happy seeing that work for them.
I've
That's a
also-
very cool use
yeah.
of that feature.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I also used the empathic link just a bit because the radius is 120 feet until it's broken, so I could still use it within that vicinity. So somebody was trying to get a secret file, a secret document from someone, and I told the character, hey, he's coming your way, just hide it. So that was cool.
Nice.
Telepathic link is fun. And
Yes.
yeah.
There's so much that can be done even with the low level features, especially
Mhm.
when it comes to social interaction and exploration. There's a lot of things you can really use, and that's fun. I'm really looking forward to hearing how it works out when you actually have a combat encounter.
Yes. Hopefully next session. We had 2 sessions without, just with social and investigation, and getting to know each other, and we're getting into the combat very, very soon. And it's going
All right,
probably going
yeah.
to have dragons or something. I don't know. So I'm
Cool.
excited. Level 4.
Level 4.
Level
All
4.
right.
Yeah,
All right.
it's gonna be
Well,
cool.
on the next stream, you'll let us know how combat went.
Yes.
And I see some love in the chat for your unexpected use of features. Hey everyone, thank you. We're reading the chat as well.
Hey, Blinky.
So, is there anything else we want to say about the playtest? I don't think so. Just join it. It's fun. Try stuff out.
Yes, absolutely. I would love to see the conduit more in use. When I run the game, I'll definitely just tell the players, "Hey, one of you have to play that." Now we're
You have to play
playtesting
this game.
this.
You have to
Yeah.
play this class.
Yeah.
All right. So what have we got next on the agenda?
Okay. I can. No, I'll do that later. I want to show some art, but let's talk about Circle of Harmony Druid.
Yes. Okay. So, Circle of Harmony Druids. That's a very interesting subclass. It has a game mechanic that that you get very early on, and then you kind of get new uses to the same game mechanic. It becomes better over time, and eventually it's this very, very cool idea where you essentially summon this cloud that you bring in from the Everlast, and creatures in the cloud have certain benefits or drawbacks depending on the state of the cloud. So the cloud itself is almost like a sentient creature. It can be either very calm and relaxed, or it can be like erratic. And I think the terminology we used for this is agitated and serene. So as soon as you get into this, you get this new lovely mechanic, which is a bit tricky to master early on, but it becomes more interesting and powerful and useful as you gain more levels in the subclass. But I think first, before we dive into mechanics, maybe we should talk about what are they actually lore-wise, maybe.
Yeah. So, yeah, what are they about?
So, we've had a lot of spirit realm stories have this idea of balance between the physical world and the spirit world. We see that done very well with Avatar, also Last Airbender, but especially in Legend of Korra. We see this kind of what happens when the balance is broken. And it's also it fits very well into the Everlast, into the spirit realm as we have portrayed it, because a lot of phenomena that happen there can appear in the material plane as well. And emotions that people feel can manifest as spirits, which can create this vicious cycle where terrible emotions kind of create a feedback loop that becomes uncontrollable. So Harmony Druids are all about finding the balance between the two realms and dealing with supernatural phenomena that should not be there, bringing things back to their natural state where the two realms are separated. So these druids would be those who go and perhaps try to dismantle mist enclaves, which we have talked briefly about in the previous stream, being bastions of anima or of spirits in the material plane, causing the planes to converge. So these druids, Harmony Druids, would very much like the planes to remain separate.
Yeah, why do they want that?
Well, many druids are all about tuning into nature, right? They have this the natural state of the world as it should be, and that's why in many stories you find druids, for example, elemental druids, kind of safekeeping portals to other planes of existence to prevent things from moving between one plane to the other, like to prevent an invasion of elementals that will burn through the entire forest.
So they believe that the nature of things should be separate.
Yes, that they believe that the veil, which is the force that divides the planes, the material plane and the Everlast, is a natural thing, and it is unlike, big spoilers. If you're a Dragon Age fan, skip 20 seconds ahead. Unlike the veil in Dragon Age, which is totally made up by a very powerful wizard who separated the realms intentionally. In the Everlast, the natural state of the world is that the realms are separate, and it's and supernatural and unnatural occurrences that create convergences that brings the realms together. Yeah, very cool.
Okay. Are there any other conflicts that they deal with?
It's mostly that and that with different shades. So, like for example, you'd find there's like a phenomena that is called memento etherealis, which we have gone through. It's a bit like Groundhog Day, where a place is so traumatized that it just remembered and repeated over and over and over in the Everlast. So that would be something that is also something they may want to prevent or to bring it back to its natural state, heal. You can almost think about the Everlast like a living creature containing all of the memories and emotions ever felt by any creature capable of emotions. So they would, if they can figure out a way to do it, want to heal the traumas of the collective consciousness that is the Everlast.
Okay.
That's very cool. Yeah. So let's talk about mechanics. We love the game mechanics, don't we?
Yes.
Okay. As soon as you get the subclass at level 2, you get some spells. There are some circle spells. We won't dive into those. But you get this feature, the core feature of the subclass is called Polar Cloud. And it's a cloud that you can manifest by spending your bonus action and the use of your wild shape. You create this cloud of psychic energy that is 20 foot a radius, and you can move it around on following turns as a bonus action. And the cloud is either agitated or serene. You get to choose when you create it for the first time, how does it start. If the cloud is agitated, whenever the first time you deal damage with to a creature, to one or more creature within the cloud, you can deal additional damage to one of those creatures. And if the cloud is serene, then the first time you restore hit points to one or more creatures within the cloud, you can choose one of them to regain more hit points. So that's the very first basic thing you get at level 2. And you get another feature that is directly tied to this one, which is called Switch Polarity, where you have an existing cloud, you can kind of switch it back to the other polarity as a reaction to something happening.
Okay.
So when a creature takes damage, you can increase that damage as well as a reaction and switch from it being agitated to it being serene, and the same thing vice versa with healing. You can switch from serene to agitated. So it's kind of a game mechanic that incentivizes you to switch between polarities in combat as your role shifts between damage dealing and healing.
Aviad, a question from the chat. Does this require concentration?
It does not require concentration.
Okay.
It does dissipate if you become unconscious or if you move more than 100 feet away from it. Otherwise, it just remains.
Okay.
Yep. Very cool feature. And then at level 6, you get another feature which is called Balancing Act, which is another set of reactions that you can take. So you gain 2 new reactions. One, when a creature within 60 feet of you takes damage, whether or not they're in the cloud, you can use your reaction to briefly grant it resistance against the damage. If they are within the cloud becomes serene. And also, when a creature within 60 feet of you regains hit points, you can also spend your reaction to half the amount of hit points they gain. So you can actually prevent hostile creatures from recovering. And if the creature is within the cloud becomes agitated. Then you can use either of these reactions. You can use it once, each of those, until you complete the rest. Hey, Everton, welcome.
Welcome.
Everton Zomer, you're an artist that's working with us. Welcome to the stream.
Welcome.
All right.
We'll talk about you in a bit.
We'll talk about Adoration in a bit. It's like, where do I recognize this name? I'm sorry if I called you out. I'm really glad you're here. I just had so much art direction recently. We'll talk more about that. At level 10, these druids get an upgrade to their base feature, to the cloud. It becomes wider and they can move it further, and they deal or heal more damage. So it's just an overall buff to all of their pre-existing features. And then at level 14, it becomes even more powerful, because if you remember previously, we just mentioned that if the cloud is serene and you heal one or more creatures, you choose one of them and it heals more. Well, now if you're at level 14, you don't need to choose. Any creature you heal that is within the cloud simply heals more on your turn. And the same goes for damage. If you throw, well, druids don't have fireball, but the equivalent of fireball, firestorm, I think they do get that. If you throw a firestorm spell and a couple of 3 or 4 or 5, and how many creatures are in the cloud while it's agitated, all of them take more damage. So it's a very powerful feature, and a strong capstone ability. We still need to test this. This goes for internal testing, but I feel pretty good about this. We may have to tweak it just a bit, but I think it's comparable to a lot of other druids subclasses we see, especially in Tasha's, and we'll talk more about 2024 later down the line. But
for people
Yeah.
that just joined the stream, so what is the origin of this cloud?
the origin of the cloud,
Like
it's like a cloud they pull from the Everlast. It's like their connection to the Everlast allows them to manifest this creation that is powered by emotional essence, that is the driving source of the Everlast.
Does this mean that the cloud crosses the veil, or is it just channeled from there?
I would say it's sort of channeled from there, but you could say that it crosses over. I think it's more of a DM kind of choice, but either works. Like, I can imagine someone describing how they pull energy from beyond the veil and manifesting this cloud, or someone just channeling power from within them and outwardly creating this cloud. Either description is fun.
I can imagine a druid just talking to his cloud like it's like
And the cloud
it has personality.
Cloud kind
I
of
will definitely do
reacting, low key getting angry, or low key staying chill, because that's like the only thing it can do. Yeah, that's fun.
Okay.
Do we have the art for the
Yes.
circle to show people?
Yeah.
Because we did get an art for the character within the Book of Spirits. It's created by Eugenio Frosali, who created so many amazing art pieces already for Book of Spirits.
Yeah,
and is creating many more.
Yeah, continue talking about it and I'll pull it up.
Sure. So, well, it's we tried to kind of create this image where it's very visible that the druid is interacting with the cloud. We want to make it interesting, inspire people to think about that magic, how it looks like, how help them imagine it. It ended up being kind of similar to a certain elf from Dragon Age. It was not my intent, but it happened, and I didn't say no because I'm a simp for anything Dragon Age. And that's mostly that. Shay, do we have that? We can move on and bring it back later. If not,
Okay. Yeah, sure. Let's talk about the compatibility with
okay.
D&D 2024.
So the 2024 rules have been a curveball to many people, and despite it being very similar in many aspects, I feel that it is a bit different, especially comparing classes and subclasses. So I have not read through all of it. Just a heads up. I'm partway through. I want to do my due diligence and figure out how to make this compatible. It feels though like many of the new classes are stronger than their previous counterparts. A lot of the new subclasses are very powerful as well. So even if you want to try, like, take a subclass from Tasha's, which was more powerful than anything that was published before then, I think the new subclasses in the 2024 Player's Handbook even overshadow these. And that's all fair and good. It does mean that a lot of the older content may not be as an easy of a transition into the new 2024 rule set, especially with third-party content like ours. Now, when we published Book of Spirits, it was very important to us to be direct about what we intend to do. So we told everyone, hey, this is a 2014 book. We publish it with that in mind, with the original 5e rules in mind. Although with the new 2024 book becoming available during development, we will do our best to make it compatible with both. So far, it seems like we could do that, maybe, with some sidebars explaining the differences, what to do differently if you're using the 2024 rules. Although that may change as I read through more of the book. It just arrived a few days ago, and although technically I had it in PDF earlier, I just like having the physical copy. Something about owning a physical copy of a book. Maybe it's just me being a bit old school, but I find there's no replacement for just holding a book. So now that I have it, it's been a real pleasure to read. Like I really like the new changes. Don't get me wrong. It's like I'm saying all that it's not exactly compatible. It is compatible. It is more powerful, but I think it's more fun. Overall, I understand why they made the changes they did. For example, with the barbarian class, which I have read, they've removed brutal critical, for example, which was a fun feature when you rolled a 20. But now they've replaced it with a feature that you can choose to use whenever you want, and it gives you more control over when you get to do your cool barbarian thing. And a lot of these decisions, I feel, accumulate into something that will be more fun to play. So I definitely see us, as we step on to future projects, I think we will be we'll be adapting a lot of the we'll be adapting the new rule set. While looking back to our audience who still plays with the 2014 rules and making sure they're not left with something that is truly unusable. So Book of Spirits 2014 with some potential sidebars about 2024, or like an errata PDF document that we'll publish separately on how you need to change stuff. But future stuff, possibly the other way around.
I think I got it.
You have it?
I just had to mess with a bunch of stuff. There we go. And now I need to move it.
So back to 2024 rules. While Shay is figuring things out, I'll just keep talking. So technically, the subclasses fit. All right, like we have 5 subclasses in the book. We have the Circle of Harmony Druid. We have the Cernomancy Wizard. We have the Veil Ward Ranger, the Wraith Rogue, and the Oath of Eminence Paladin. So most of the subclasses get their features at level 3. In the new 2024 rules, all of the classes get subclasses feature at level 3, no matter what. Even if you're a cleric, warlock, wizard, classes that used to get their subclasses early, now all get them at the same level. So technically, with the Druid and Wizard in the Book of Spirits, these are the only classes that previously had second level subclass features. Now you can simply move them to third level, and it should work just as well. And I'm saying it as with a big should in there, because we have not yet finished, but we really want to make it good and compatible. So trust me that I'm doing my best. Shay, have you got the image? Can we show it to them?
Yes. It will have a white background, though, so
that's okay. I'm sure they'll forgive us.
Okay. Click.
Click.
Yes.
Can they see it?
Yes, they can see it.
How do you like it, chat? Do you find that cool? This is the Circle of Harmony Druid by Eugenio Frosali. Very cool piece. So yeah, let us know what you like about it in the comments, in the chat.
The swirly thing is the cloud. What is it?
Yeah, I imagine it being the cloud forming. So the druid is kind of from their hand, kind of conjuring the cloud as it flows, and they send it to the battlefield. He vaping. Absolutely.
Who say that? Oh my god, of course. Yeah. Okay, I
Yeah,
have a question.
ask away.
What was it like directing the art for this piece?
Well, I think the most challenging part about this piece was figuring out how we want the cloud to be apparent in the design. Because creating a druid art is very straightforward to most illustrators. They know what druid looks like, and it's fairly easy to find references. But we really want to push what's unique about this subclass, so it feels right when you read it. And having and getting this effect right was really important to us. So yeah, Circle of Vape Druid, as dubbed by Blinky in the chat. But I think
Oh, boy.
it's a good segue to art direction, maybe.
Yes. Yes. So what is it? What is it like art directing? What does it mean? How is it to start doing that for the book?
Wow. Okay. So I've been doing art direction for quite a while. Before Book of Spirits, even we had art created for our monthly supplements on Patreon. But this is like a whole new level because, first of all, there are. Sorry, excuse us. First of all, there are over 100 pieces of art in the book. So just amount-wise, it lessens the amount of attention I would like to give each piece, and I don't want to give less attention to the art. So instead, I had to kind of develop a system, a way that I work by, and I had a conversation with a good friend, and also an artist for Book of Spirits, Irina Nordsoul. And she told me all about her experience working with Wizards of the Coast on magic cards and how their art direction is very, very concise and specified, because they have like thousands of art pieces commissioned a year, like in the thousands, in the several thousands, perhaps even. So they have a good system for portraying what they want for different illustrators. So that the art directors have this formula that they use for most of the cards, and they have like the setting or the colors for. No, the settings and colors are different. They have the setting as the set of MTG that they use, and they have a lot of concept art to show. And they have the color of the card, which gives us a lot of the card's character. Right, a black card looks differently from a green or a blue card. Then they have the location where the scene or the image, the art takes place. Then they have the action, what is happening within the location. Then they have the focus, which is what is really should be the focus of the attention when illustrating, where assembling the composition should be. And then they have a mood, which is what should we think about or feel as we see this image. So I've prepared like a prompt description for that we have actually sent one of the illustrators, and it's for a Mist Enclave of Anger, describing to them what should happen, what's the focus. So this is going to be a landscape piece. So the focus is the landscape.
Okay.
Then the mood is a very dangerous place. An Anger Enclave should feel dangerous.
Yes.
The location, I wrote down that an Enclave of Anger is more... Okay, so the Everlast is a magical realm of nebulous mists. Most of them are ambient vapors or clouds of varying density. An Enclave of Anger is more than that, though. It's a jagged, violent hellscape where the mists transform into an unnatural red miasma. The air is oppressively hot, the soil is cracked, with hints of red, as if lava is going to erupt any moment. And we can also maybe see waterfalls of molten rock and rivers falling over sharp cliffs. That's the location. And you'll notice that I paid more attention in describing it because this is a landscape piece. Other locations may have a single line, or maybe I even write that it's not very important.
Yeah, it depends on the subject, yeah.
Exactly. So the subject is the landscape. Now, the action here is, as I said, that the action here is shapeless small anger spirits fight each other or dance on a charred tree, making it appear as if it has like this burning canopy. It's just something that happens within the image. It doesn't have to be in the forefront necessarily. It's something people will see as happening inside the image, with the location being in the background and with the entire scene being about the landscape. This image will appear on the page that explains what is an anger enclave and what kind of effects you might encounter when you journey through it. So it's all about creating the feel when people go through the book. They see this, they are running the game using an anger enclave, and they're already in the mood. Now, another thing that was very important to kind of capture is that we want Mist Enclave specifically to portray an emotion. So for anger, we went with the fire, we went with a lot of reds, we went with jagged landscape, sharp features that feel dangerous, and the association between anger and fire is very easy to come up with. We have other examples, and Shay perhaps will show one of them to you.
Yeah, I'll show you the Joy Enclave. Yeah,
the Joy Enclave.
I was missing with
that one we actually have completed. It's created by Max Suleimanov.
I could show something else. Maybe
you can show it.
Oh, okay.
You can show. I mean,
just checking.
You can show any piece of art we've published. That one was published on the Kickstarter update. I think just the other day.
Look.
Yeah. So here you see like this very beautiful, serene, playful image. You see water, you see the foxes kind of running around, you see this iridescent effect for the almost rainbow aurora. We went with a lot of yellows. Yellow is the color we associated with joy, so this is the prominent kind of color you'll see here. And you'll see for other spirits as well, joy spirits tend to be yellow because this is the color we associated with that emotion. And as I kind of I've described what this piece looks like, I had to figure out what sparks joy when, like, what in an image sparks joy. And I've researched this quite a bit and found that several things. Abundance sparks joy, round shapes spark joy, rainbows, bubbles, fireworks, the color yellow and green generally, and certain animals. Cute animals do that, but also playful animals. Foxes are an example actually brought up by Shay, and I said yes, let's do this. But you can have dolphins, you can have dogs, you can have so many penguins. So many animals can portray that feeling. And yes, it turned out very pretty. And we're doing the same kind of research to portray emotion with every illustration that we're coming up with.
Yeah, from time to time, you do ask in the Discord.
Right.
You ask for for opinions, things like that.
And I will ask again because I have no idea what kind of how can we portray surprise in an image. I mean, I have some ideas, but it's wacky. It's weird. Because the surprise enclaves. So surprise is one of the emotions in the Book of Spirits and one of the 8 core emotions. So surprise enclaves are a place where everything changes all the time, and it's very hard to portray that in an image. I mean, you can create some variation, some movement, certainly, but to show people that one moment it's day and one moment it's night is challenging. It's not impossible, but it's definitely a challenge to portray this effect, and especially if you want to portray multiple changing effects, then it can really quickly become just an utter mess. So you need to be very careful about what you consider placing in to create this feeling, this perplexing environment without overwhelming the image.
So subjects don't conflict with each other but add to one another, and you can see what the main subject is rather than the background. Yeah, I'm a photographist. So.
Well, there you go. So yeah, so you know that.
Yeah.
And yeah, so working on this has been really a blessing. Those of you who know me know that having an art budget for Book of Spirits has been maybe my favorite part about the success of this book, is just having money to throw at artists, illustrators, so they can do their magic and create the stuff I can only barely imagine, and just put it on use paints and techniques and create these amazing compositions.
Things. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love seeing it. It's like it's something that you create together, and it's beautiful to see. I'm adding another picture.
What are you showing us, Shay?
It's the one with the concepts, the 6 concepts of what the one of the entries looks like, I think. You know what? You'll tell me about it in a bit. Yeah.
I'll tell you what it is in a moment when it's there.
Let me hide the other one.
Chat, by the way, if you have questions about art direction, about what happens, how does art happen in a book, feel free to ask. It's a tricky subject, but it's fun.
There we go.
Oh, there it is. So this one is actually a few concepts, a few sketches created by David Frashensky. I hope I didn't butcher your name. And these are sketches for the Everlast, just showing us the spirit realm, specifically portraying a siphon, which is a phenomenon that allows people to fast travel, essentially, through the Everlast. So a lot of ideas here, a lot of different colors, a lot of tests that we've done. David, I say we, but David did here, both with the appearance of the siphon, the different clouds, the different colors, a lot of interesting compositions here. We have eventually created an amalgam of all of them and moved into the next phase by combining a few of the ideas shown here. So, for example, we took the colors from B and C to kind of, because they felt like a very classic portrayal of a spirit realm to me. And then I really enjoyed the movement that's seen in sketch E. It's very lively and very interesting movement of the snaking pattern, which I very much like. And yeah, I think we took the tree from B as well. I also think we kind of took, so in A it's very clear that a lot of different strands are kind of coming together, and it was very important to me to create that effect, because a siphon is essentially that. It's kind of taking in mists from around it and launching into the air.
Which chapter is that in?
That will be in chapter 2.
Okay, that's cool.
And Blinky is asking if this is a Stormlight reference, and actually it isn't. We do have some Stormlight references, but this one is not a direct, at least, reference. This does not actually allow you to cross over from the spirit realm into the material plane. This is a way to move fast within the spirit realm. So you essentially get close to it, and then you get dragged by this river that's flowing through the sky.
It's a fun bridge. Fun time
very
shortcut bridge.
Very fun shortcut. Although you might die, but that's a risk you're willing to take, right?
It's part of the fun.
Yeah.
I'll show the final version of it. Yeah.
It's not the final. It's still a work in progress.
The work in progress, closer to final version than this.
All
than
right.
a sketch.
Show them.
I'm not an artist, okay?
It's okay.
Bam. Bam.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It's beautiful.
So yeah, a lot of the elements combined, still a work in progress, but definitely getting there. And you'll see the final version in the book. You can pre-order it if you haven't already.
Go do it. Go.
And ads everywhere. Okay, yeah, I think that's enough about that specifically. We can talk about field notes a bit if you like.
Yes.
So the field notes. So along with the Kickstarter campaign, we have offered something that is called Mist Hiker Field Notes, which are essentially a pack of 16 printed pages that appear like a diary, like a visual diary of an explorer who walked through the Everlast and kind of captured all the different phenomena that you can find inside, showing her equipment that she uses to survive the Everlast. She has a very cute pet spirit that joins her on her adventures, and also it's a nice way to kind of to give those pages to the players as a way to introduce them into this new realm that is suddenly added into their campaign. So we have begun working on this couple of months ago. I've reached out to an artist whose name is Irene Aredia, and she is just phenomenal. Like we talked about Maeve, about the character that is the explorer that's going through the exploration, about what she's doing, personality. She created a few sketches of how she looks like, what kind of equipment she's carrying.
I'm showing
and
the
then
notes.
Oh, you're showing them? Can they see it yet?
Yeah, they can see it.
Which one? I see it in delay. Which one can they see?
It's the
one with all the items.
Each one with the one with all of the items. Yes.
So this one is one of the pages that you'll find along with the field notes, and it shows a lot of items that might help you survive the Everlast. The text there is not in there yet, but the items are definitely there, and you can see like there's a dream catcher there that can help you rest without attracting unnecessary attention from Animar spirits. And there's like a compass that helps you track. Remember we mentioned the siphons that allow you to take shortcuts. So you have this siphon and this other device that kind of lets you know where the siphon is going. And yeah, a lot of really interesting stuff. Some of it is just ideas of Irene that she just came up with, and I immediately fell in love with and said, yes, this has to be, we have to write about this. So yeah, it's just one of the pages. There's gonna be 16 of those. Super hyped to see. I just had a meeting with her today. I'm super hyped to see where she's gonna take it next. We've really been blessed working with her.
I remember when you showed me first that you want to work with her, and when you told me that she said yes, I was so excited because her art is wonderful. Go look at her art; it's amazing. I'm
Yeah.
absolutely in love. Can't wait.
Um,
Yeah.
Absolutely. She is phenomenal. She did some Kickstarter work previously,
Mm-hmm.
so that's how I found her originally, because she did something of similar style for another Kickstarter, although a bit different.
Mm-hmm.
And like it was big art sketches that were just art. And I
Mm-hmm.
saw her style and I immediately thought, hey, you know what? This really reminds me of the style that is in Brandon Sanderson's book in Stormlight Archive, speaking of, where Shallan is illustrating bits of stuff she saw and writes notes next to them. And I saw Irene's style and I said, okay, yes, we can do this. She can make it happen. Let's do it. And it's just blown away by the result.
All of our art is amazing, truly.
Truly is.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think that's mostly everything that we wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Which is insane, because usually we talk way more than we intend to. So chat, if you have any questions, shoot them at us. We still have a few minutes, otherwise we'll call it an early evening and go and get some well-earned rest. But we really appreciate you sticking by and hearing us blubber on about art and the Book of Spirits and everything we have been working at in the past few months. Yeah. What's diegetic art? What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Blinky in the chat said diegetic.
Blink is drunk.
No, I think it has a meaning.
Blink is a very good friend of mine.
Oh, okay. Diegetic events are those experiences experienced by both the characters within a piece and the audience. Cool. So it's like, exactly. So it's a diegetic piece would be Shallan showing, like, sketching things she sees, and then we also see them with her notes. So both Shallan and us experience that, and it's the same with Maeve. Maeve travels through the Everlast, recording her experiences and sketching stuff as she survives different ordeals in this new and interesting place.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Okay. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure. We'll be here next month as well, with more updates about the book, about the playtest. Shay will tell us all about how it is to have a TPK as an empath. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to share some of my session experiences as well. And until the next time, we'll see you all beyond the screen.